It is 8 p.m. and here are our top stories.
They're doing these donuts and these burnouts and they're putting people's lives in danger.
Streetcar racing terrorizing metro communities.
And they're wreaking havoc on our community and we're tired of it.
Now Aurora is catching up to speedsters and cracking down on their stunts.
Denver 7 investigates putting the brakes on stolen car parts.
Isn't that a warning sign for you?
It's not my job to say you're a thief. They're stolen, is it?
As thieves cash in on catalytic converters, we go to businesses accused of buying and selling stolen products.
I'm told some of these can be worth $2,000, $3,000, $4,000.
Big money, big time paycheck.
Plus, lawmakers trying to cool down Colorado's hot housing market.
As property values rise, it can be a burden on homeowners and business owners to keep up with the costs.
But opponents say it's just election year politics.
$200 million of that is actually what taxpayers were already slated to get back in 2023.
First tonight, breaking news out of Washington, D.C. Politico has obtained a leaked draft obtained by the U.S. Supreme Court indicating their intention to strike down the landmark Roe v. Wade decision, which guaranteed federal and constitutional protections of abortion rights.
This is a highly unusual move that a draft opinion would be leaked. This one written by Justice Samuel Alito. Now, according to this Politico article, Justice Alito wrote, "It is time to heed the Constitution and return the issue of abortion to the people's elected representatives," adding, "We hold that Roe and Casey must be overruled," in reference to Roe v. Wade and a subsequent 1992 decision enforcing the right to abortion. The court's draft opinion will not be final until it is published, which could come within the next 2 months.
Now, for Colorado specifically, last month, Governor Polis signed the Reproductive Health Equity Act, which guarantees abortion access and other reproductive rights and prohibits any state or local agencies from interfering. The bill calls people's access to contraception a, quote, fundamental right.
Good evening, and thank you for watching Denver 7 News on Local 3. I'm Ann Trujillo.
I'm Danny New. Tonight, Aurora police officers are cracking down on street racing.
The department launched a dedicated group of officers to look for illegal races last night. However, most of the drivers were able to just speed away from the police.
Aurora PD says that this is just the first of many patrols that will be out on the weekend. And Denver 7's Colette Bordelon has details.
Sundays are typically when Aurora police see the most street racing gatherings, and this is likely the first of many future operations police will be doing to crack down on them. Officers shared these pictures with us from last night. In this one, you can see all of the cars near a warehouse off of Airport near Smith Road. And then in this next picture, you see tires in the bed of a truck absolutely shredded, but it did slow down the driver enough for officers to issue a summons for reckless driving. The driver claims he ran over nails. Aurora police also towed another driver last night after they went to 4 known street racing locations around the city where many of the drivers were able to outrun police. The department says they've gotten lots of complaints about the racing and they want the community to know they're taking it seriously.
The dangers come with all of the unknowns, right? All of this reckless driving through parking lots on the streets, right? They're doing these donuts and these burnouts and they're putting people's lives in danger.
Agent Longshore also says the racing is damaging property, like the pavement and stripes and parking lots that other people have to pay for. In some instances, the cost of fixing things like that comes from businesses trying to protect their property.
These people just don't get it, right? They just want to be out there for the fun. They want to go out there to show off their trucks and their cars. But I mean, they're causing damage and they're wreaking havoc on our community, and we're tired of it.
An ordinance recently passed in Aurora allows police to go after cars involved in the racing if they can get that vehicle information. If you're trying to report street racing in Aurora, call the number there on your screen, 303-627-3100. You can also report it online at reportstreetracing.com. In the newsroom, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Thank you, Colette. And looking deeper, DPD is also cracking down on illegal racing. Denver police made nearly 60 arrests for street racing last year. All those cars were impounded and 21 drivers never got their car back, period. Anyone caught street racing by Denver police could lose up to 12 points on their driver's license and could have their car impounded for up to 12 months or indefinitely.
We now know the identities of 3 people killed in a shooting in northeast Denver last week, and we have just found out they were family members. A woman, her grandson, and her 4-year-old great-grandson. The city coroner's office identified 22-year-old Donnie Allen Jr., 65-year-old Denise Hood, and 4-year-old Makai Parham Allen as the victims of a shooting at the East Range Crossings apartment complex. This was on April 26th. All three had multiple gunshot wounds. Meanwhile, police have not released information about a suspect, and family members are telling Denver 7 they are worried about this case going cold.
I think we feel what everybody else feels. There's no details. There's not enough details. Right now, it's an ongoing investigation. It's been very lucid in the information. I think in the beginning, it started with, there was a vehicle that was identified. Then all of a sudden, that went away. There's a guy and two women that had been verified. It's an apartment complex. There has to be cameras. There's a lot that happened with this process. So we just don't understand why there isn't more information. And so if you know something, say something.
Coming up on Denver 7 News at 10, we will hear more on the family's steps to find justice and the ways you can help with their journey ahead.
Let's get back to a hot topic that we've discussed a lot this year: catalytic converters and the unprecedented rate they're being stolen at. So listen to this. Last year in Denver, thieves stole 2,671 catalytic converters, which is up, as you see there, from 268 in 2020 and then just 14 in 2019. And so far through the first 4 months of this year, the number is at more than 700. So you might ask, if so many are being stolen, how and where are they all being sold? Well, here's Chief Investigative Reporter Tony Kowaleski with more.
It's become a booming industry for bad guys. I'm talking about stealing catalytic converters. Over the past several months, we've taken you inside the issue and the problems. Tonight, we take you inside how they're being sold. With hidden cameras, we visited several local places to find out what they're buying, how they're buying it, and how much they're paying.
This one I could do 220, and this one will be 70.
Okay, and is that the best price you'll give on all of them?
Yeah.
So this one's 70 bucks, this one's 60 bucks, and this one's 300.
And how do I get paid?
Cash.
Cash?
Yep.
I don't buy them from individuals.
You don't buy these?
Because it's stolen.
So just how does it work? Our hidden cameras will take you behind the curtain and show you how bad guys are peddling stolen catalytic converters. Inviting you to join us tonight at 10 on Denver 7. I'm Chief Investigative Reporter Tony Kowaleski.
Colorado Democrats are trying to save both residents and businesses money on their property taxes. They plan to introduce a bill this week. And if passed, a home assessed at $500,000 would see roughly $274 in property tax savings in 2023. And those savings would be just a little bit less in 2024. Businesses with $500,000 commercial property value won't see any increase in their property taxes. Governor Polis says this is just one piece of the housing puzzle.
One piece of affordability is property taxes, and cutting property taxes an average of $275 for a home puts that money right back in the pocket of Coloradans who will be able to use it to grow our economy or save for their future.
And the money for this is coming from a surplus from the state budget. It would not impact schools or fire districts.
And this property tax relief is the latest tax relief announcement being pushed by the governor. Just last week, he announced 3.1 million Coloradans will receive a tax rebate check if you file your taxes by May 31st. That will result in $400 for single filers and then $800 for joint filers. Meanwhile, Republicans called the governor's announcement, quote, convenient timing for the November election.
Coming up on Denver 7 News at 8, they're the first to respond to emergencies. Beneath their gear is a heavy burden.
Major casualties, right? Seeing wounded women and children.
Now one group is helping those who normally help us.
We try to break the stigma of not talking about the things that keep us up late at night.
Rain and snow come to an end over Colorado tonight with warmer weather headed our way for Tuesday. I'll have your full forecast and our next chance for rain still to come.
And it's Teacher Appreciation Week.
I just feel like teachers are awesome.
We take you to one Arvada school celebrating education's unsung heroes.
What is something you want them to know that maybe you've never told them before?
That they're really good at teaching us.